Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Lucas of Lucasgvariety here with my friends to play Dungeon World Indigo Magic for our 5th episode today on August the 4th, 2020. I already knew it, and I still checked my phone anyway, midway through that sentence. And will never, ever, ever pull off a flawless opening. I just don't think I will. Anyway, welcome back, everybody. Glad you're here. Glad you're out there watching. And Benny will not be able to join us tonight. And he'll be a cardboard cutout. That's Alavar, so properly put it. He'll just kind of be there. Maybe he'll get a little XP if he's lucky because we like him. But I'm also going to cut him up a little bit with his own razors. Ooh, that sounded gross and mean. I'm sorry. I'm getting into the GM mindset.
That got a little dark, man.
You don't know that I'm really, 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 really dark down inside. I just try to put on a happy face so you guys don't know until I mess up. Man, don't let him see it coming.
It's always the quiet ones.
I seem quiet sometimes, but if you told my wife that, she'd be like, "What? He's the quiet one?" Soundwaves Ghost cheers 100 bits for another +1 to the group. That's a total of a +2 to a roll, 1 and 1, or together if you want. Thank you, Soundwaves Ghost, for the donation. And I have 2 GM yums to throw at you guys, which I think I've already decided. So, without further ado, let's get back into the Indigo Magic. And this week, the character recap will be done by me in character as we do. And of course, why not just pull out the hat? Hey, take a drink of water because I got paragraphs here.
Wait, you actually planned your recap?
I did. Because I am doing a character sometimes. I always do. I take that seriously because I want to, not that anyone else doesn't, but I want to make sure I get out the points, but I want to build color around it to make it fun. So, yeah. Actually, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but I'm going to be Zorm, so I want to get him right. He's got a mind of his own. All right. Lucas, you're talking way too much. Your players are waiting for you. Just get going. All right. Anyways, once again, thank you, Soundwaves Ghost. And we open up the scene right where we left off last time, with our 4 heroes looking in the room with 4 spirits being twirled above. And you got this big sack of guts animating a skeleton on one side and Zorm on the other. They're both arched back like this. What color did I say? And, I'm gonna reinvent the powers. Actually, the color that's zapping in between them is like, it's not quite purple, it's not quite blue, but it's somewhere in the middle of that. And this orb is. What was that?
You mean indigo?
What? What? Yes. Way to get it. That's, originally when I look back on the VOD, I was like, doggone it. Use the right color, Lucas. You got one job around here. That's to get the story right. Anyway, I never will. So we see this opening. You guys have just come up here, and we see Zorm like this, and we see the morgue just like that, and we come back to Zorm, and he picks his head up, and he turns to the left. He's looking, he's like, oh. Well. Hello and good morning, afternoon, evening, depending on when you're watching this from your dimension. I am Zorm, son of Zorm, and I am under an evil, undeath corrupted curse of my own design. Well, at least partially. How lovely it is. Wait. Nope, I'm incorrect. It's most definitely not lovely. I am currently entranced in a magical psychedelic battle against an undead blob of intestines inhabiting and animating a large skeletal frame, connected to the essence of a not quite dead god. Thursdays, am I right? Oh. Anyway, you see, a while back I was conducting some wizardry business for one James Cook, hereby entitled the Overlord. Well, actually the man previously known as the Overlord, kind of like Prince, but previously known since he died. But when the Overlord, he came to me and he asked for products in trade for coin and knowledge. We did the business and we bumped fists like geez. And I got wealthier and he got the power sources he needed for what he told me was his large renovation project. How those power magnifying magical conduit traps and some rerouted ley line power converters are supposed to spruce up your home is quite beyond me. Quite an odd renovation. Restitution? Oh. My brain's being fried. I don't know. Those PMMCT SRLPCs are a tricky sort of gadget, you know? Anyway, along with my coin, the Overlord, the dead one, remember, gifted me with one of his minions. Delta, I think her name was. I don't know. She was very good at fixing up broken magical devices. I used to call on the McLeod repair services, but Delta took care of that. She just took right in and she just took care of all of my needs. She even amplified my family heirloom to get a better magical reception. Yes, and he points at the Z that's actually in someone else's hand. He's like, yes, that lovely Z pendant that I hired some red shirts to go and find after my Kragan Precious hid it on me. That's the device she spiffed up, all thanks to her being loaned to me from the Overlord of that time. Previous one, remember? Apparently he was a bad guy, though, and he meant for bad things to happen. Who'd have thunk an honest man like him? Not honest. Anyway, I digest. While the red shirts were gone, I decided to go all indigo magic and visit the world through the eyes of a slumbering god. And activated what I call the rainbow orb. And we all look over, and there's the rainbow orb. It's going, shooting its indigo colors out. And try to figure out why my magic was going wonky as late. The city's magic, the ley lines themselves, and even the Reaper's magic were all off when she came to hearken my call about my missing Z pendant. I scried the source of the corruption through the lines, and I got more than I could chew on. Spirits summoned, lively, unliving guts wrapped around bones summoned, trying to murder me to undeath. And now these red shirts arrive back just in time to die horribly. And what do they bring with them? The Z pendant, of course. Why would they do that? Don't they know that it was cursed and corrupted, and bringing it here has only spelled doom for the city? Maybe they don't know. Well, I should try to tell them some things before I die. Yep, I've been struggling in this battle for months now. They've been in the tower fighting for weeks to reach me. Most likely the mage police were eviscerated after the first 24 hours. Boston is most likely wrecked, but I suppose we'll see. All right. Now stop breaking the fourth wall and get back into character, which of course is still me. Not Zorm, son of Zorm, fourth wall, parallel dimension Zorm, but Zorm, son of Zorm, the third wall, and pretend he doesn't know about the fourth wall, parallel dimension Zorm, son of Zorm. Anyways, I will see you later. Good morning, day, evening. And he shifts back into where we see, and it picks back up again.
404, prey not found. What the? That was a pretty good recap, man.
I try to make it as crazy as I can make it. I hope it was crazy enough. I'll have to go
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, that's me trying to be my loud voice without waking my child up. So anyway, you guys have come back. You've brought this here. You've worked your way up from the basement all the way up to the top. You see the spirits flowing through of the Overlord's sire. Whether it's father or not seems to be unclear. It's just the one before. And we see Tim McLeod, Ralph McLeod's father. We see Fane, Elivara's late husband. And we see Lucy, Benny Dott's late wife. Benny steps back and he like takes his two blades, right, and he throws them together and he makes that really sweet shadowy sword of his. And he's like frozen, like just looking, expecting to take the first punch at something, but he's not. He's gonna wait to see what you guys do.
So, but we see an undead abomination, Zorm, and 4 ghosts.
Correct. And last time, I believe you had asked me about the orb. You asked me how to fix it and what it does. And one of the answers I gave you was a lie, and one was the truth. And I said to fix it, you basically had to shut it down or take one of those two things out of the equation. And you're like, basically we have to turn it off and then turn it back on. Yeah, reboot or whatever. And then the thing I said that it does is it lets you contact the other side. Other side of the black gates. So I just want to make sure we got that back in there. Otherwise,
Well,
I know. I'm gonna put both my earbuds in so I can hear you guys a little better. What do you guys do?
Like, Ralph looks at the scene here, and then as his eyes fall on one of the undead meat man over there,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, "Oh hell no!" So, Ralph would like to chuck his radiant, like his holy light grenade here that he enchanted last session, walking up the stairs.
He's gonna chuck it.
Reality is just a base, but I mean, desperate times.
Okay, so yes, right. You made it radiant damage, so like holy.
Yep.
Okay.
I literally made the holy hand grenade of Antioch.
Okay, that's right. That's right. That's right. Okay, I forgot about that. All right. So it sounds like. So how far do you just step into the room enough to get like just a?
Yeah, just enough to get a clear shot, and then yeet.
It sounds like you are doing. It sounds like a volley.
Shoot an enemy at range.
Yep, you could do volley, but there's consequences. But one of them would not apply to you because you only have one grenade, right?
Yeah, because I only found one base.
All right, so one of those things wouldn't apply to you. You'd have to pick between there two. So I feel like it's a volley, or let's see, get another way active. Or you could defy danger with your dexterity. Either way, it's plus dex. Because as you go in there, like as you step toward the room, the indigo magic that's going between them, it sparks off little bolts and forks, just kind of all around, but smaller versions. So it can be kind of dangerous as you step near into the room.
Yeah.
But you tell me. I think it sounds like a volley, but
it's a volley because it's an attack.
okay.
So, but yeah, I am going to roll dex. I'm going to snag one of those +1 forwards if that's okay with the other two companions here.
That's what it's there for.
yeah.
Oh, I fumble so hard.
You.
Oh
I think
It looked like we
no!
I
used it.
critical.
That's a 2 net. Oh.
You
I
crit.
crit failed. Oh no.
I think you are our first official crit fail.
Yeah.
Oh no. I'm adding
Oh,
my
you
XP now.
Failed with it.
Yes, please,
Yeah.
please
Failed
mark
with
Add
XP.
your
Grenade.
XP.
So
I
with the
failed with a.
grenade.
I failed.
What did you do?
I think we are about to see the light.
here's what happens. Oh, critical failure. Not only does it affect you, it affects everybody. This is what the extra critical. That's what the extra. As our house rules go, a crit fail means an extra bad thing happens, whereas you roll boxcars, extra good happens. So what happens is, and this is, I'll honestly tell you, I was going to do an extra, whatever your damage is, Ralph, is that 1d6?
It's D4.
Okay, I was going to say I was going to
Thank
give
God
you
for that.
your damage with this plus an extra 1d10 of radiant damage. It's pretty high up there, I would say. So what happens is you chuck this in, and it's spinning end over end right towards the Morag, and it looks at you like it's like this, and it's like, and one of its intestines whips out and grabs it, and then it just chucks it back. But as it leaves, there's a sticky sap that comes off its, pink intestines, grayish pink, and that sap on there, it's like you see the holy. What's this thing look like? What was it that you?
It was just literally like a water pitcher or something from the level down.
Okay.
So
it was glowing with this radiant energy, I feel like. As you see it come back, the energy fades, and then a burst of new energy comes off it, and it's black and sickly and green, and then it lands right into Benny's hands. He's like, huh? And then it explodes.
Oh.
And the other two can defy danger to get out of the way.
Oh, thank God.
But tell me how you try to avoid danger.
Defy danger.
Just tell me what you would do.
Oh,
Like, you see this thing coming and it lands in Benny's hand. You're like, oh, it's gonna blow. What kind of action do you do? You dive out of the way? Do you try to like just bear it? Do you try to use Benny as a meat shield? Do you try to, you know? And I'll tell you what stat we will agree on what strat to roll. But
I'm going to go with my guy slaps that out of his hands and then literally jumps on it with his shield with strength.
your guy. So you try to knock it down and then power it to the ground.
Yep.
Okay.
He's going to Captain America it, folks.
So you're gonna defy danger
Just don't
with
have
your
a helmet.
defy danger with strength, and then Olivara.
Mhm.
I
Whoops,
feel
I
like
did
the
that wrong.
wise thing to do here would be hide behind Benny.
Okay.
You guys got this, right?
So that sounds like defy danger with your dexterity to quickly duck behind him.
I'd prefer something with wisdom.
Ah, you're like, he looks like he's a good meat shield. And you get behind him while it's still
Yeah.
flying through the air. All right, I will allow
I
this.
know Benny's strong.
Ralph is going to take this full 7 points of damage, of corrupted magic damage.
Reduce. So I'm going to reduce it by 1 for armor. So
Yes.
6.
Wait a minute.
Fuck.
I should have rolled his damage. I just rolled yours back at you. He has piercing, but I didn't do his damage, so you know what? Your armor still goes through for this attack. Partial successes, you guys just take half damage. So I'm gonna round down everything, so you guys would take 3.
The before or after armor.
Before
That's
armor.
before.
Okay.
It actually did not turn out that bad for being I thought it was gonna turn out. I thought the roll would be better, but I left it in the fate of the roll 20
Thank
dice
God.
algorithms, and you guys actually came out smelling pretty good on that. But there is a whole cloud of corrupted, black, greenish, like heavier than fumes. It's almost like liquid. It's almost like mist. Like that's how moist it is.
Plasma.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not good to stay where you are, most likely. Let's pick up. We'll put a little green.
Well-
All right.
little
Well,
green
after
square.
that, I'm going to activate those new gloves that I got.
What is
I
those?
feel like
What do
plus,
those gloves do
the
again?
+3 armor.
All right.
Yeah, the gloves that were.
The geodes.
What's it look like when you activate them? What happens to you?
Well, you know the spell, what was it called? Rock armor? Something. Whatever. Well, basically, crystals extend all the way from the gloves to coat her entire body
Okay.
as armor.
So as you duck behind Benny, you get there. Some of it still sprays out as you're activating your armor, so a little bit gets through. We see
Yeah.
Cecil like knocks it down and slams it, so the blast goes out and around you, and it doesn't shoot directly in anybody's faces, which also helps everybody out. Unfortunately, Ralph was probably like, I don't know, you were just ducking back and it got it right in the face or something.
Yeah. So yeah, that was bad. That was super bad.
And Benny just steps back because he would have taken a little bit of damage too. Probably, I'll say he got like a partial success in as far as the narrative goes, and he kind of stumbles back against the wall. He's just like, and he's trying to fight this off for the moment. And I'm gonna add one more little tiny thing. Let's do. This Morag came out of a little square like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we see as his intestines come back, and he's just like, your intestines will be so delicious, added to mine. Nothing like,
Ugh.
It's nothing like the small intestine of an enchanter to pick up your day. And it rasps over these dry teeth of the skull, and 2 more portals open up or begin to on either side of it. Your guys' turn.
I want to castigate undead on the Marauder. Whatever the hell that is.
You want, what's it called? The spell?
Castigate undead.
Oh, trying to push him back, huh?
Yes. So let me
Cast it.
shift around my screen.
Keep in mind, you are still in a cloud, and there's not like D&D rules here, so if you want to move out of the way, you probably can. We'll see what happens.
Oh, yeah. She definitely moves out of that cloud and towards the undead piece of garbage.
Oh, right. All right. Go ahead and...
I don't like that reaction.
I mean, you walk into the room further, the indigo magic is just blasting around everywhere. It's very dangerous just to walk through the room, but very brave. So, 7 or 9, choose 1.
All right.
So that's a good roll.
Do I want to deal damage or limit his abilities? That's a hard choice.
I'm not sure the portals are his ability.
I think they might be, though.
But then again, also, if you make him explode, then we don't have to deal with portals.
It's true.
All right. Okay. So, we're just going to go with the damage.
Okay, I'm going to recopy something so I can see everything together.
She says something incredibly witty and sharp and something that I'm not capable of putting together at the moment.
Something
If you have forgotten it.
something sharp, so a scythe? You say scythe?
Jeez. Oh gosh, get out of here.
I mean, she's literally damaging it with her words.
Okay.
And, you know,
You don't have to
magic.
say it in character, like, but what kind of things? Give me like an idea, even if it's not like in voice or anything. But
Actually, something like what Soundwaves said. Something about it having forgotten death or death.
okay.
Yeah, something about death, because that's Alivara's whole thing.
Okay. So
And as because she gestures when she speaks, because she's like me. She speaks with her hands when she gets animated. And what better? This is. So you can see tendrils of her own magic, literally like going at this thing as she's gesturing.
Okay. I like it. And so it was a success, right? So
Yeah, it was. So she dealt damage, ignoring armor.
deal your damage. So you can go ahead and roll your damage, and then you're gonna do.
Yes.
You place a burden on them.
I rolled a 1. I only used 1 because I rolled an 8. So it was just the damage, ignoring armor.
Okay, so 1 damage.
Yeah.
But you got to choose 1 extra of those 3 things. What was it?
What?
It says you deal your on 7 and 9. Choose
No,
1.
It's missing a
wait,
bullet point.
I believe that should be.
Damage is an
bullet.
option.
Oh, I see. There's supposed to be a bullet point there, so it's not.
Yeah.
In addition. So okay, I see. I was looking wrong. I'm sorry. So, well, you still you took a little peg out of it.
Yeah, 1 damage. Ugh.
So, as you're saying, you've forgotten what death is like, and you're pushing it back, and he's like, yes. I have not been here long enough to forget completely, but what is happening is I am remembering how much I enjoyed life. And now the gates of death are broken, so we come and go as we please. And I think there's no more coming up yet, but it shoots its intestines straight out, just like right towards the camera, and it's right towards Ralph and Aravara. What do you guys do? It's gonna give Cecil a throw.
I'm gonna
but
defy danger by holding out the death board.
defy. Okay, so
I'm literally gonna shield myself with this wacky enchanted thing this weird clipboard that I enchanted to soak up corruption.
Okay, sorry, my was distracted by my roommate. What is going on?
We're the splooge monster is making an attack against us.
Please don't call it that.
yes, please. It shoots several of its intestines straight out, like it goes right through the camera. And Ralph, I think, defies danger with quick thinking, so it sounds like a plus int roll to me. Or you're enduring. You're just like, oh, I'll just, but you're enduring with a magic weapon as your shield, right? So
yeah. So I think it's quick thinking in this point because it's just like, aha! I have something that eats corruption.
All right, plus endurance, or I'm sorry, plus int for you. Olivara, how do you avoid danger?
I live in a world of dualities.
What the hell, Ralph?
Oh my good, now you just came and you did boxcars to get the critical success. Nice work. You know,
I could do the language.
What?
Well, you know what? I'm going to allow you to do your damage, and I'm going to allow you to also do the radiant damage that you tried to do before as the extra good. So you can roll your 1d4 plus a d10 damage on this thing as you rebound it. But Olivera will be also trying to get out of danger in some way.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out. I can't find my... There's the basic moves. Okay, sorry, I'm pulling up my PDF.
That was a killer roll. 13 damage?
Jesus, God in heaven.
Let's see how this roll goes.
We listened to the death board just start hoovering up intestines.
So these 3 intestines try to hit you, and you hold this clipboard up. Yeah, they hit, and you're like, pop, pop, pop. You block it, and they just sizzle like, like bacon on a griddle. But it don't smell like bacon. It smells putrid, and it just and it screams and it pulls them back, and they're all burnt. And as they do, before the tentacles get to them, they've all sizzled off and they're just gone. And the fire, this kind of, basically it kills corruption, right? It crawls up and it just starts burning the intestines, and they just start crisply going to ash almost instantly, like in a lot of vampire movies, how they turn to dust and they're gone. Mm-hmm. And there's just a few of these intestines remaining, holding this skeletal frame together. It's shaking. The magic is shaking between the orb and it, and it's growing stronger between Zorm, and Zorm's like, I don't know if I remember you, but keep doing it. Save my life. Yes, save my life, please. I can't cast magic. Olivara, I still need you to defy danger, though.
Yes, so I was trying to find some way to make it wisdom.
Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's just diving out of the way.
I know.
Even I'm trying to think. You could try.
I mean,
you could try to
common sense of you booped it, and so you're expecting to be booped back.
I mean, I was trying to think of like some maybe subconscious self-preservation use of her soul that it doesn't expend the use of it, but it protects her in a way.
You spent one a minute ago for your other spell, right? So the Cascade's kind of still going. Also, like this indigo magic here is just like forking off the main ball. You could maybe use your stuff.
No, I can't, because that's a crit fail.
Wow. When it rains, it pours and then changes. Please mark your experience as I bring all the things to fruition that I want. I was going to say you could pull the magic over from the orb to try to block it, but it doesn't matter.
That and,
well, what did you try to do? Exactly. I want to make sure before I throw it back at you. Oh boy. That's bad news, guys.
So I think she'd instinctively reach for, that soul that she just expended to castigate that's still hanging around. She'd reach for that and try to, manipulate it to protect herself from this. Definitely wouldn't reach for the rainbow death orb thing over there.
So you reach that soul is being spent right now. It's passing on. Somehow through that, in a lightning quick moment, one of the 4 spirits above squeezes through that spell, pushing your soul that you were using out of the way and sends it on, and instead becomes utilized for your magic. And it's just sitting there and he's looking you in the face, and he's just got this huge, he's like this huge bulky, well, he's not actually tall. He's just like, beefcake, right? He's got this huge face and this huge like steel chiseled jaw, and these eyes are the most piercing glowing red, like pinpoints, and he's just looking at you face to face, and you're like, yep, this is definitely the Overlord, formerly known as. And he's just like, thank you. And he draws in, and he keeps drawing, and you realize he's drawing, and you have how many 2 souls in the bank?
Yeah, I have 2 currently.
All right, he takes them. They're gone. And he just goes, whoa, and he starts to glow brighter than the other 3 spirits in the room. And he's just like, yes, yes, yes.
So he just takes my soul, not the soul that I've got in this little orb, the skull, right?
Correct. Just what's currently in you.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you feel it just sucked out of you. And
that's not cool.
And then, to add something else in, because I have a yum yum in reserve, suddenly you guys feel the entire tower like it just gets hit with a giant wrecking ball from the outside. And the whole place, and bricks start coming down, things fall over. Remember, this tower was already kind of decrepit anyway. And then when you went inside the mage police, I forgot what we called them. Totally.
Mage guard.
Mage guard. What a brain fart, Lucas. Put up the shield, right? To keep things from coming out, probably. Things from going in. They basically sealed you off. They quarantined you in there. For lack of perfect word. But something from the outside, it's like just this god-sized fist smashes into the side of the tower, and the whole place rocks, and everybody has trouble keeping their feet. Zorm is still connected to this rainbow orb. The morgue is weakly, and then the spirit of the Overlord, which is now right here, she put him, is growing and is like becoming uber powerful. Yep. So.
Cecil, deal with your old man.
Well, so there I was. My friends all dying, and I'm shaking my head. Told you. So first I'm going to need to run a horde check to see if I have any horde following me at the moment. I do have 3. Excellent.
They're like, the master. Wait. The
He nods. It's confusing. It always was. He's just going to walk over to the orb.
Oh.
And he's going to turn to him. Secure the orb for the master.
So you command your minions to run up and grab this giant orb?
The orb. Yep. Take it. Time to go.
Every time you command them to do something, I can't help but laugh like a maniacal madman. Why? Why are you so evil?
And
Lucas?
I'm going to take my +1, like Joe did one of his before. I'm going to keep that as well. So it's going to be spend all the minion power on this. And if this doesn't work, then,
So
back to the drawing board.
wait 1 second. So you're taking the +1 for your next roll?
Yep.
And what is the horde doing for? So they are reckon.
I'm spending the 3 horde, I do believe. Let me check and see how this works.
Does that just give you a +3? I forget how it works.
Yeah, because it's a blank 2d6.
So now it's +4 to this roll.
Mhm.
And your objective is to have them
secure the orb and get it out of here.
Okay.
Basically, his behind the brain plan is like, oh, hope this breaks the spell. Get the orb out of here.
No, that's
This
fine.
is mine now.
What is What is your role for this commanding of them? Is it based off, is it charisma?
Or the master. It's it doesn't have a stat. It's just blank.
Okay.
It's just fed by what I add to it
With the horde. 16.
Nice.
Boxcars.
Oh my god.
What is up with roll 20? Double ones, double sixes, double ones, double sixes.
What the?
Wow.
My turn next for the boxcar.
Beep beep, motherfucker.
Your minions carry orders flawlessly.
Oh my god.
When your minions join you in combat, you may spend horde one. Okay, so we don't have to look at the details then?
No, it's just the 10 plus. The other parts is if I said help me in combat and I roll a 10 plus, or 7 to 9. 7 to 9 is they will get in my way and you get to create a new issue, a complication because of their help. They still help me, but they don't get anything. But on a 10 plus, I get one of these bonuses as well.
That is beautiful.
This was just to straight up do something for me. So I'm telling them to get the orb and get out of here.
And you got boxcars. So
Roll 20 giveth, roll 20 taketh away, and then roll 20 giveth again.
Hey, I gained a whole level off of rolling 5s. I'm due.
You're due.
I think so. They pull it up here, and you get the extra bonus of not losing any horde. You still have 3 horde. So not only do 3 march up, suddenly there's actually 6 of them, and then there's 9 of them, and then they gather around, and they're just like they pick it up like for the master, but as they all lift it up together and say it simultaneously, they're looking at Cecil, not James Cook, or previously known as Overlord James Cook. Anyway. And so 6 of them race it out of the room, and then they start going, in the pattern to eventually take it down this way. And they pull the thing out. You still have 3 horde, and once they have pulled it through at about here, everything starts, and you hear them like screaming as they're like ah. Probably not good for them, as they've pulled it, and now the magic is pulled away from the other 2 that it was originally connected to, and it's just like glowing and growing bigger around them as they go around the corner, and who knows what happens. But they take you just made a whole new thing. That's just like a whole new bit I can use. That's so good. And they take it and it's gone. The power evaporates, or is gone, right? Just, and you have the spirits stop swirling the whirlwind, like they're not trapped. All 3 or all 4, the other 3 that are up there seem to be like Zorm's like, whoa. 2 months, 3 days, 5 hours, 6 minutes, 13 seconds. And the Morag is just like looking at James Cook. James Cook is looking at the Morag. What do you guys do?
I'd like to bitch slap the Morag.
Ooh, I like this.
Jumps over the big guy. Ah, little guy.
Are you literally just doing a physical attack? What are you doing?
I want to try to castigate again, so she's gonna pull out the skull because it's the only thing that's got soul left. And
Castigate, you said?
so I'm gonna bitch slap him with my words. Yes.
Please do.
I'm not looking. Son of a.
It's not boxcars this time.
One more time, sound
Not
waves.
boxcars this
Thank
time.
you. Another +1 in your pool, guys. That puts you at a +1 because you.
I was trying to get it before she rolled, but she rolled the moment and I went to click it.
It's okay because she only rolled a 5, so that one
It
is.
still would have been a failure.
So mark your XP, Olivero. So you step forward to try to castigate it. Oh crap. Yep.
I'm not gonna survive tonight, I feel.
1 second.
Well, I might. I've got quite a few hit points and 3 armor now, so I might.
I mean, you got probably more hit points than I do right now.
And
Well, she started out with more hit points.
There we go.
I have to do some grandiose things that I have Oh,
I
take-
don't like the sound of
You
that.
take
What's that?
only 1 point of damage.
Oh. And I've got 3 armor, so.
Oh, it's piercing, so it goes through.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
I think it just did.
Kitty cat.
The Morag starts to heal a little bit.
Troublemaker.
So you step forward to castigate the Morag, and it shoots its tentacle at you, and it's a testing tentacle, whatever it is, and it gets through on the rocks a little bit, and it seems to draw some of your life energy. As it does, its intestines again begin to fill out and grow a little bit, and the Overlord, previously known as, is looking at you and it's like, looks at the Morg and it's like, And then, I'm not playing in D&D. I'm playing in a different game, so I don't know if I search for something, if it'll be there. Let me see. Oh, it works.
I don't like this.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm worried about it. I'm the center of attention right now.
He's
looking at me.
Summon Tarask. No, I don't know what. No, don't worry about what I'm saying.
Ah! Fuck! Oh no!
Let's just make it awesome.
There's that black dragon
means
Flubbadug.
pain.
There's that black dragon Flubbadub's been whining for.
Oh no.
No, I don't.
Dun, 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 dun.
What's a good tint color? Oh, I know.
Immortal Combat.
There we go. Cool. Courtesy of Flubdub, the
No.
wall. Let's see. Let's make it. Okay, we'll just do red.
It even busted like the Kool-Aid man.
It does, right through the red box. We'll say right there. Oh yeah. So the Overlord looks at those two, and he's looking at everybody else like, who's he gonna pick for whatever he's thinking? And the whole thing caves in again and smashes down. And those of you who have lived in the city for a while, which is most of you. Where did I have the information? Oh,
Discord.
Discord. Silly me. Know that this must be none other than one of the 5 dragons, since this town is ruled by the 5 and has 5 districts. 1 dragon for each district. And where did you go? This can be none other than Samar, the black worm of the Arcane District, which is this district that you guys are in.
Oh no. But magic's wonky.
And the whole place smashes in, stones go through the spirits, one bounces and hits Zorm right in the face. He's like, whoa! And it's like the cartoons, like he falls, but his hat is just, he's like, ugh! Falls and his hat hangs there for a second and then falls after it. And he goes down. We haven't heard from Benny in a bit. He's maybe trying to struggle into the room. And the dragon just looks around and eyeballs everybody. It's a crazy creature. It's huge. It's gigantic. And that's it. I have one more thing to spend. I've spent one of my GM things, and that is on the Black Dragon. I have one more to spend. Go ahead.
I thought you spent the second one already, because one of which was the Black Dragon, the other was Overlord James Cook. To make that worse.
That was, I thought it was at the end of a crit fail, but you know what? I'm good. That's fine. I don't have any other plans. You got me. Ralph, what do you do, my friend?
And Ralph looks at this dragon and is like, "Oh, I am not paid enough for this shit." And then he watches Alvara get smacked. It's like, we are not paid enough. Fuck it. And he's going to do something potentially dumb.
It's my favorite kind of
All
thing.
the best plans are.
So he's going to find a. So I'm assuming that now there's rock and rubble strewn out all about the room.
Yes, sir.
Now,
Yes, sir. All over.
so he is going to find a rock like the size of his head, and then he's going to then grab that and they'll go hide behind Cecil. It's like, I need you to buy me a minute, as Cecil is busy elsewhere. And then he is going to attempt to craft enchantment, and he's going to make a very, very big bomb. You are muted, sir.
Like a straight up force damage, like just a grenade.
Like he's going to make a very big bomb that is anti-corruption. Essentially, he's going to take the properties that he knows works, which is the death board. But the reason why this is taking a little bit of time is because he has to figure out how to translate that into making it big and go boom.
Quick on your feet. I like it. Enchantment. You do have also have a +1 in the pool.
I will take that because I really need this to work. Because I have a feeling that the dragon's probably under corruption, but we need this shit to just go the fuck away.
You know, you say that, and maybe you assume that he is, but you're not sure because you haven't seen the outside in 10 plus hours. Even though, when he breaks through,
well, I'll be happy to be wrong then, because then I can at least plead my case.
Oh no, you don't even have to. I mean, yeah, maybe he's corrupted, but you're acting so quick, and you haven't actually discerned realities or anything to take a look at him. But he is eyeballing everybody, and it looks like he's looking at the whole room in judgment as you duck behind Cecil and take the extra.
And then I just
yep.
starts rippling.
I don't think you can go wrong with anti-corruption. I don't think so.
Oh, thank God. Okay, so
Nice
that's
work.
a 12.
See, now look at this. Roll 20 now rolled a 6 and a 1 on the individual dice. So it's not just. I swear, what's going on? Anyway, nice roll.
Okay, so that's a 12 with the +1, which to get Cecil up to speed. I'm cowering behind you as I'm working on a big anti-corruption bomb.
That's fine.
So, all right.
That's fine. Yep.
10 plus, I get to choose 2.
What are your options?
Which in this case, it's going to be this enchantment does not have any known side effect. And the other one is the enchantment does not have any weird limitations. Because I don't need this to be permanent. And honestly, this thing is supposed to explode. So,
is there anything else? Is there anything else in the list that can happen? How many? Because that usually leaves.
I get to pick between 4 options.
What are the other 2?
Limitation. The other 2 is the enchantment is permanent so long as the mark remains whole and unmarked.
Okay.
Unmarred, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
And then on a 6 or less, the item can end up cursed.
Okay. Which is kind of what happened last time, so that's nothing. I just want to make sure I had all my options covered.
Yeah. So
Thank you.
And the way I understand it too is if I also foul it up, it takes more of my stock.
Okay.
Which is that special resource.
Alrighty.
So
well, it comes out, as far as you can tell, looking pretty good in such a tight situation. As you're working away, Cecil and Alavar hopefully buying you a little bit of time. Speaking of those two, you two, Ralph's putting this thing together real quick, and all kinds of stuff, and little zaps of magic, little hand tools, little combination magical hand tools, whatever he's doing. Throwing a little chalk in there. I don't know. You have the 3 spirits that have been freed above and are just kind of almost like they were stunned and they're coming to now. Benny stumbling into the room. Zorm knocked out cold. The previous Overlord, giant-sized, looking at the dragon. The Moarg barely holding in there. And then the black dragon looking like it's going to just breath weapon maybe the entire room and just be done with it. And then you see that it's nighttime outside, and you see another huge flying beast fly by real quick. What do you guys do?
Well, I'm tired of my magic not working properly, so Alavara going to take out her sacrificial knife, and she's just gonna go for this Morog. Tired of the magic backfiring on me, or just doing very little.
Okay. And I don't know if you heard Cecil. Ralph did use the +1 to make sure the roll was a success from the pool.
Okay.
Olivera, it sounds like you were going to go melee on this guy.
Yep, we're gonna see how that goes.
Some hack and slash with your plus strength. I love it.
Yeah. Strength isn't my. Oh wait, yes, it is my worst.
When in doubt, go
Let's see.
barbarian. It's okay. It'll be fun no matter what. That's the thing.
You can do it. You're due for boxcars.
Oh.
No, I'm not.
Mark XP, please. Mark XP.
I'll be level 4 if we survive, probably.
What did you roll? Come
My cat's so angry because I took her out of the garbage.
Oh, she's very angry.
She's normally very angry. I deserve that.
So
I was to try to keep her out of the garbage for at least 10 seconds here.
you go through to stab. And the thing is, the Overlord, his huge shadowy form, suddenly jumps down and just like solidifies more around the Morag just as you're approaching it. And when you hit the Morag, it's like you hit a brick wall and you just bounce straight off. And you just like, it kind of like your hand hits you in the face and just knocks you like, whoa, for a minute. And then you fall down onto the ground behind you, kind of stunned. You don't lose the dagger, but you take, 1 point of damage. Does not get through armor, so you actually don't take any damage. You basically just hit the ground and pump, and you see the Morag is covered with this inky shadow, and then it turns to look at the dragon. So you don't actually get hurt, but you're kind of out for the moment. Cecil?
Yeah.
Cecil is going to take stock of the situation real quick, and then he's going to he'll just turn to the dragon and say, Lord Arcane, the supposed fallen Overlord from Westerville?
Westralia.
Yeah.
From Westralia is the source of the corruption, and he's trying to absorb all the undead. He tricked the Wizard Zorm into summoning here. Aid me. And he'll start running towards him. I don't know what to roll for, like, telling him to help me thing.
It sounds
I
like
don't really
defy
have a-
danger
Charisma?
using your charisma, your social grace.
Okay, that will work. That'll work indeed.
Oh.
Very nice.
Almost boxcars. Great, now I have expectations.
Yeah, don't do that.
So you say all this, and Samar like looks back, looks down at what's happening here, and is like, I see and understand. And he positions and rears up, and he's like, vacate the premises. And yeah, who has the Z pendant, by the way? Oh, okay.
Who do you think?
So he. Okay,
It's stuck on my staff like bling.
okay, so he says vacate the presence at once, but then he looks at Ralph real quick and he's like, except for you. You reek of corruption. And then he turns back to the Overlord
And
Morag.
I gently hold up this like working on it.
Okay, so they are kind of like one right now. I can't get them.
So, I think in response to that, Cecil will just run to Zorm, grab him, and try to run out with him. Just like, on my shield, you hold full. Let's go.
Okay.
Kind of need him to pay me.
So you're gonna you're gonna grab Zorm and try to get out of the room.
Mm-hmm. Maybe catch up with my minions on the way. Who knows? Dragging. If I have to drag Zorm by his beard, I will do so.
I'm just now imagining just armored Cecil, bridle carrying Zorm, and then shield surfing down the stairs.
Running, running, running. I suggest you be running.
All right. Let's see here. I think you can. That sounds like defy danger. Almost sounds like enduring. Almost like grabbing him and just running and trying to push through all the danger. Unless maybe it's getting out of the way, acting fast.
They're both terrible options, so let's do enduring.
Okay.
Here we go.
Plus Constitution.
XP time. Oh no! All right.
He does it.
That's with a 0. Dex was -1, so that would have still not been a good thing.
So you
I
run.
hate your rolls.
You roll over there. You grab Zorm, and then you basically get up here and start to leave.
Book it.
Then he's like,
it's like throwing over my shoulders. His head is actually under my armpit. He's like, I don't care about your comfort right now.
raise your hand if you're sure. He mumbles like, smells like. He's like Irish Springs soap. Then, you don't know. It's weird. Okay, I have a thing, but I also have things for you guys. Cecil, of course, rolled well, and he's kind of getting out of there. Whatever Alavara is deciding, or Ralph, like this, the female spirit comes down and kind of stops in front of Benny, and this one comes down and it's here. So Ralph, Tim McLeod is in front of you.
And I'm like Ralph, the kind of acknowledges it, but he's still focused on trying to make this bomb so that way it doesn't kill us all. He wants it to do what he wants, not something else. So it's like, let's see, your blade line protection goes here, but it's just like, no, that needs to go over here because otherwise it's anti-corruption. It just who's going to screw it out, carry the 4. It's like, and he's like, hi.
I think maybe he's like looking over your shoulder like he always used to, as you're crunched over. So like his spirit is, you can feel the spirit energy. He's just over top of him. He's like, yes, no, that one to the left. I don't need to tell you. You've come a long way, son, but. The red wire. No. Remember the rule. In the second hole, blow us all up. He's some nursery rhyme thing.
Yeah, red is dead.
Red is dead.
Yellow is mellow.
Yellow.
So blue is for when you want things to blow up.
You know, he's like, I don't need to tell you. And he's like, you'll be hearing from me soon, but not me, but someone like me. Be careful.
I mean, it depends on whether or not I live past this, but we might be seeing each other sooner than this. Hopefully, I did my math right.
Let's find out together. Let me jump over. Alavara, you're just like, on your duff, right?
Oh, she's not leaving until the undead are taken care of. Like,
are you talking about like the morgue and the Overlord? And the spirits, all of them, everything?
Mostly the
Uh-oh.
the spirits, but mostly the spirits laid to rest, but also the everything else.
Okay. Fane floats down then next to you. He's like, you've got to get out of here, Alavara. You freed us. We can float away, but the doors, the gates of death are broken. They're coming back through. Faster than they can go in. He goes, we have to. He's like, and he starts screaming. He's like, now you gotta get out of here. You gotta get out of here. You gotta get out of here. But obviously, you're gonna do what you're gonna do. And then Benny is also transfixed, talking to his late wife, and he's just like, no, revenge is the only way. Maybe something like that. I don't want to speak for him too much, but something's going on there, and he. So, Alavara, Ralph.
So, Do you want to do something, LaTorra, before I try to detonate this bomb and possibly kill us all?
Nope, go for it. I have
Okay.
literally the dice are cold tonight for me. I'm not gonna try anything else for the moment.
Like, there's probably another minute or so, and then it's like, okay, I got it. And, like, he holds this up, and it's like somewhere along the line, Ralph found a timer, like an egg timer, and he goes, we all have about 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and then he hucks it at towards the dead Overlord, and it's like, hit the dirt.
And sounds like you're doing another volley.
Let's hope
Well-
this goes better than the first one.
So, well, I mean, considering that it's a bomb, it's more of, and I think it's more of a lob. Can I argue for strength on this one? For just,
Oh, I see. Because it's a big rock, right?
it's a big rock, and
So you-
and I'm not. This is not an accuracy weapon. This is just
Okay.
so long as it's
So
in
whom
the
it may concern?
yeah, it's Deer's random zip code.
Okay, I like it. It's a big shot put, and you use it with your strength. to lock her up.
Probably still get the rest of this tower, but
Okay, well it's for anti-corruption, huh? Okay, 7.
Yeah.
You do it.
Just barely.
this is gonna hurt.
So choose one of the below. You can use one of the first two. So you have to move to get the shot placing you in danger, or you have to take what you get, negative 1d6 damage. Before you decide, I will let you know you roll your 1d4 damage plus another d10, just like the radiant that we're kind of been doing.
I will take option 1 and put myself in danger. Maybe it's like halfway through this is like, oh no. And like Ralph then is like, screw it. Ah! And I just literally pull one of Cecil's minions, just holding this big explosive rock, and I just run at the Morog.
Okay. So you're really close to the blast radius here, and
I'm the center of the blast
that's right.
radius.
Oh, so you don't even let go. I'm sorry. You run over there and you're just like ah. All right, roll your damage.
So,
Maybe he should have kept the gloves.
so 1d4 plus 1d10.
Correct.
7 anti-corruption damage in a very large epicenter.
Well, I would say that gets through armor, in my opinion, at least for the Moarg. So it goes in this physics type of radiant blast through. It just washes over Samar, the dragon, but it just eats through. Well, the Overlord, not as much because he's a spirit like the rest. It's not necessarily anti-corruption. It's the thing like the Moarg that is the nasty thing, right? And that's just all the intestines are just eviscerated, and it's gone, and just blasted. And the Overlord still takes damage though. He's like, you see his form shrink a little bit. He's like, oh. But then he looks down as the Moarg skeletal frame is just hitting the ground.
And probably there's Ralph standing there with his hands over his head like a dork, probably covered in soot. And he's like, oh, I was really, really hoping that would kill you.
He just looks at you like serious, and he's like, I've already died once. And then he looks down, and all of the skeletal frame of the Moarg goes up, and he begins wearing it. He's a spirit wearing the physical skeletal remains in this weird like physical armor over a spirit.
So it's a spirit wearing a skeleton like an exoskeleton.
Yes, it's his exoskeleton armor. Yeah.
It's a skeleton mecha. And it's just like,
Said run.
and it's just like, I'm pretty sure that that that's a violation of terms and services somewhere.
So,
You know what? 1 second. I'm going to go upstairs and see my baby. Make sure she's good. So you guys talk for a second how crazy it is, and then I'll be right back.
I tried.
the only thing I have that can do damage with any chance of certainty is my Castigate Undead, and it hasn't been working that well tonight. Oh god. And I have 2 soul left in the skull.
Go for wild and zany. That keeps working for me.
I mean, you just watched me explode.
None of my
I can't
spells-
believe you also got away with just trudging the rainbow orb down the stairs.
Mine now.
You're very much likely going to be the only one to survive.
Which I'm the main one, not really that happy with my character and stuff. But he's working today. I'm starting to learn him a little bit better too. My direct combat skills are just hit things. Everything else is minions. So you gotta leverage them properly in the future. Like, well, all this magic-y oopy spoopy stuff is going on because of this orb. Remove the orb. If it hadn't have worked, if I had rolled terrible and they didn't steal the orb, then I'd start hitting it. That was pretty much my plan. Hit it next, see what happens.
I debated on messing with the orb, and then I decided, no, I'm not going to play with fire more than I have to. Or messed up a Dwemer check trying to figure out what it does.
Yeah, I thought about that or discern realities, but I was like, you know what? No, it's more fun to just throw the dice at it and see what sticks. And then I ran away with my money. I mean, the guy who hired me.
I mean, maybe Alvaro could beg her husband to help her out somehow.
Honey, whisk me away. This thing keeps hitting me.
Dog pile!
Yeah, I don't think spiritual dogpile would be a good idea for a monster that's absorbing spirits.
I mean, he's not absorbing spirits. He is a spirit.
He absorbed 3 souls, so that's close enough for my eyes. Get out.
That was the Morog.
Mm-hmm. But now he's absorbed the Morog.
Yeah, okay.
He's
He's
incorporated
using the
Morog.
Morog's body.
He's incorporated the Morog into himself. My guy is like,
That doesn't
I've
mean he
seen
gets
these
its
kind of
ability.
tricks. I am out.
I don't know. Well, no, it's more like, I know what just happened, and I really don't want to be here. I'm going to get the hell out of here. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
I've heard this song, and I've heard this verse, and I won't end up in that hearse today.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you want us to get even more insane, make sure you donate some cheer bits to the channel.
Yep.
And of course, the Flubadub gets the black dragon that he asked for, and he's not even here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So I
that would
hope
be
he's
the night
enjoying
he's not
that
here.
whenever he's watching it.
I kind of subverted his dragon, though. As soon as it's like, I looked at.
I mean, speak for yourself. I'm probably going to be reduced to ash.
I looked at that thing and I was like, okay, what kind of move works for talking to people? Oh, parlay. When you have leverage. I don't have leverage. Okay, what else I
Yeah.
got? There's nothing else. There's no other thing in that vein except for parlay. I'm like, okay, we'll just say
I throw
what I'm
myself
doing.
at your
Defy
mercy.
danger with charisma.
So I can defy danger. I'm like, perfect, doing it. Charisma and strength are my 2 strong stats. So let's do this.
Look at the bright side. If you survive this, Alavara, you'll be able to level up something fierce.
Yeah, I guess technically right now I'd only get to level 3 because I have 12 experience.
Yeah.
And it's... What is it
9.
for leveling up?
It's level plus
Level
7.
plus 7. Current level
Yeah.
plus 7. Right.
Should be 9 experience.
so 9 to get to the next level. So I will ding on our next long rest
Me
as
too.
well.
I pocketed so much the first 2 adventures. But I only got 2 or 3 more. I could have dinged twice the last one.
Right.
Because I'm at 14 now.
Nice. Jesus.
Just been racking it up.
Yeah, I got
Oh, this is
13 sitting in the
nuts.
bank.
Old.
Maybe next time I just need to make it. I mean, maybe next time I just need to make it just a bomb.
Explosive distraction grenade of I got out of here. Bye-bye. It's a long title. Yeah, I say it by screaming. It sounds a lot shorter when I'm running.
Need to enchant a cannon or something that shoots grenades. For,
Sorry about that,
make it
guys.
Automate.
Good.
Teething
We're
time.
just, yeah, we're just shooting the breeze.
All right. Well, thanks for keeping everybody here, which is you guys and another viewer. They're called. We'll get back into it.
Hey, that's one who visits me very frequently. Hello, another viewer.
I love that name. I love that. What was the other one I liked? Oh, no time.
I wonder if feet will show up.
Feet. That's what it was. It was feet. I love it. So that was situation. Exoskeletal armor. I think Alavara. Let's see.
Earth-shattering kapoof.
So you did a good. You hurt the Overlord and you blew away the Morg. The dragon was not touched that you could tell, and neither did the spirits. So what do you guys do? Cecil's gone. Benny is trying to figure out what to do on his end. Leaves 2 frontliners.
I kind of want to try and convince the other spirits to like help us defeat the Overlord formerly known as.
I say that sounds pretty fun.
Yeah, because I mean, what a better way to deal with the spirit than with other spirits, right?
Mhm.
That's solid logic, I think.
It seems like, I'll say Tim is here.
I have no clue what kind of a role that would be.
That sounds very charisma. It sounds like defy danger with your
Yeah.
charisma. You're trying to convince these spirits to help you guys defeat this other evil one.
Do we have a +1 left in the bank?
I'm afraid not.
Or no, I think that was you. All right, charisma's not my strong suit. We'll give it a go.
It
worked. It worked when parlaying with those 3, whatever they were.
You can do it.
The 7.
So you succeed.
I didn't fail completely this time.
He goes, so what do you say thereabouts to them? Just spirits, like, help us vanquish this one?
Yeah, I mean that's basically the gist of it. Help us vanquish this one. Yeah, that's about the gist of it.
Okay, here's your tough decision.
Oh no.
So, they're like, and Fane's like, Oliver, you gotta go. I know, we could do it. And then Tim looks at you, and so does Lucy. He's like, one of the 3 of us can help at least push him back for now, but it will destroy us. Which one do you send, Olivera? If you do. Oh, Lucas. Now,
That's not even cool, man.
if you, I mean, you're trying to convince them. They said they will, but it will destroy them, and you only need.
Yeah.
Now, you might just be like, then don't do it. I won't, much I'd like to make you push through. Oh. Jodo, look at you. Thank you very much for 3 auto succeeds. Wow. He put a couple big ones up in there. That's 900. Thank you very much, sir. That's 3.
I was trying to do it beforehand, but for whatever reason the system hung up. So it was like processing card. It's like, rack.
Alivar can't make that decision. She won't.
No?
No.
No, there's got to be another way.
Okay, because it's supposed to be a tough choice, so... No, I can't do it. I can't. I don't want to be that ruthless. I have my last GM thing, so I was looking back. I have one more, so I'm going to use it, but conditionally, and if I'm wrong later when I look back, I'll give you guys something back. I'll give you an auto success back. But... So you decide to pull away. They're like, we will destroy one of us. Who do you want to do it?
I can't.
Then Fane gets in your face, and you can feel him like touching you, like with his spiritual energy. Like, that if you're not gonna do it, if you can't get rid of him, you need to leave. He goes, it's been months. We've been in here months. You've been in here weeks. Look outside, and if you look outside for just a second, you see like explosions, different colors in the night sky. A lot of the stars seem to not be shining. You don't know what's going on. There's a lot of smoke and haze. You can hear now the sounds of explosions and screams and magical effects going off and the clanging of swords and shields. And you're like, what the? And he's like, you gotta go. Take the wizard and find the kraken. Basically, get the hell out of here. But you don't decide to send any of them in there. So what happens is, since the Overlord is not being damaged, he goes... Let's make a representation there. He's just like, he turns, and all of the bones of the skeletal frame attach to the chest of Samar. He's just like... And then the bones begin to grow up and around this black dragon. And the Overlord's essence in the bones begin to fuse with Samar. And he rips his head back and just screams and just blasts his breath weapon out of the tower and up through the sky. And it's just like this big, weird, conglomerate struggle going on. What do you guys do? Flubdub, that's for you, my good friend. You sick.
There's a brief moment of Ralph kind of looks is like, and then he stops for a second, and then he turns to Alivar as like, does he count as dead?
Oh.
Overlord.
Yes, he is like dead. He is a spirit.
So it's like he then takes out his staff and he rapidly rubs away the current rune on there, which was the rune of flame.
Yep.
He's like, probably, never mind. I'm not telling you what to do. And he is going to spend a stock in order to inscribe one of his new runes that he discovered out of the enchanting book, aka when I leveled up. And he's going to add the rune of doom to his weapon.
Oh, I want to
name a type of monster. The weapon does plus 1d6 damage to the chosen type. Undead.
That's a good choice. You see Samar. You see Samar's like he's a black dragon. He's a black worm. He has like his eyes were red. I think much like the Overlord's. but in a different red. His big draconic red eyes. They flicker like lights going out, and his eyes like go out, and then they instantly snap back on, but they're more of a reddish orange glow. And he starts to like come down and shake its head like. And I think you do an enchantment, sir.
So
or whatever. No. Tell me what we're gonna say. Go ahead.
So this is not an actual roll for the enchantment, because it's just a thing I swap out on my staff.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
So, but then I'm like, come on, and I'm going to YOLO smack him in the snout.
Can I aid him?
You can aid him. How many bonds do you have with Ralph?
I think
just
one.
one at the moment.
All right, so 2d6 plus 1. Tell me how you're aiding.
She's just gonna. So basically, I was just kind of planning on throwing my last soul at this thing anyway to try and just basically banish it. So she's just kind of going to, like, reach out with the skull, and she actually just like blows on it lightly, but then the soul that's still within it visibly adds to what he's doing, his attack.
Okay, are you actually spending your soul here? Because I don't think you need to, right?
Technically, no, but I'm not sure how else to...
I'll tell you what, if you want to spend a soul, I'll give you another +1 to the roll.
Great, let's do it.
So that'd be a total 2d6 plus 2. Which would give him a +1 to his roll if you can get it there. If you... Oh.
Thank you, Jesus.
Very, very nice.
Hey,
Finally
I had nothing to
rolled
do
well
with this one. So...
I have one soul left. I started this fight with 6.
Mm-hmm.
Stupid Overlord.
That goes +1 to Ralph.
Told you.
Oh no, wait, it was the Marauder.
You hear up the hall. Told you. All this battle you just hear. Told you.
Okay,
Echo
so I
through
have
the
an
building.
additional +1. So, all right. It's wacky time.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
So that's a 13. we just watched, and we just watch as, and I imagine the staff is literally glowing like this weird purple color as the rune is being empowered, and I am going to whack him, and I'm assuming I still get to do my additional 1d6 against undead.
Oh, yes.
To that portion.
Oh yeah. Nope,
Okay.
you are spot on in your assessment. It's Samar was killed in a matter of moments by the Overlord and his morgue skeletal frames he attached
Jesus.
onto him. And just not only does the dragon get armored, it gets killed, becomes undead, and is possessed by the Overlord. And you do 6 damage to him.
Das boop.
You do 6 damage minus
Oh my
armor.
God.
Sounds like I need to go back.
No, we need to leave.
So
Trying to buy you time to leave because the dragon was pissed with me.
I think it's funny because like he's shaking off and he's just like it's coming into its own new sentience, like the whole thing combined, and it's shaking off its head, and just as it stops and it looks, it's like Ralph is right there, like it screams and it roars out. Let's see.
Insolent child.
And
Can't be happy about that.
let's make him a little bit bigger because now it's fun. And
Great, now we've elevated up to kaiju fight.
it hits and it steps back. It's like, and it just looks and he smiles and he's like, I go to reclaim what's mine. I shall deal with you later. And it turns to the hole and like grabs and peeks its head out, and it looks like it's trying to leave.
Wussy. Like Ralph literally just shouts wussy.
I think the 3 spirits pop down, and they're just like they form like a wall. And they're like, and they look back at you all at the same time, like a great evil has just been unleashed into the world. perhaps greater than the one that already plagues it, for they are different.
I tried to boop it.
Now,
I don't think it liked it.
Olivar, do you want to stop this thing? The dragon is leaving. If you let it go, it's gone.
I could try one more castigate.
Well, I'm not saying you have to do anything because it's going to go
yeah,
away.
I know.
I'm giving you the action. I'm telling you so that you have the.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if I should do something, but I don't know this is going on.
Cecil, you could come
What
back.
are you doing? What are you doing with the rainbow rock anyway?
Taking it far away.
I was thinking of having it sent to my tavern, but I mean, right now, I mean, it's technically still magically delicious, and I could siphon it off or something. Because I don't technically have my own magic.
Or do you?
Yeah, I don't.
Have you tried?
Or do? No, I've never done magic. I was told I couldn't.
Well, Cecil, I'll never stop you from trying if you want to try magic. Anyway, Cecil, you would hear the stuff happening as you're running down with Zorm. So, I mean, you have minions to give Zorm to or leave if you wanted to turn around within a couple.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
All this stuff would have happened in a couple moments.
Actually, I think I'll just leave him once he's out of sight. I think that's about now I come running back in type thing.
Something like that.
I think I'm going to do another for the master, and he gets in the doorway and he looks to see what's going on. He looks around. He says, "Stop that beast! He has defiled the name of the Overlord." And then I don't know if I want to roll or automatic.
Please, for the love of God, take the automatic.
Okay, we'll take that.
Take this off.
So an automatic attack with your minions to do damage on this guy?
More to just to stop him from being able to leave.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna.
Yeah, we're forcing the issue now.
Are you spending all 3 stock, or all 3? Sorry, that's Ralph. All 3 minions.
I'll do that. Yeah.
So
to balance it out, I'll spend all my horde to make sure it goes through.
Well, you get the auto succeed. So even if you spent 1, that's fine. It just sounded like that. So I'm okay. You doing it how you want. That's what the auto.
I mean, it's an option to spend it for the bonus plus for the master.
Well, you tell me how much you want to spend. Even 1's okay.
I think I'll only spend 1. Simply, I might need to use it for. I know what? No, there's only for the master, and I think this is the pivotal moment. So yeah, he'll be like, everyone, stop that monster from complaining to defile the name of the Overlord. And he gets this voice when he says it.
All these
like countless of them come running out from underneath what is basically now his robes.
Yeah.
Bile.
That's
all different, like
that's humanoid cat
shapes and hues of animal creepers and
everything.
Some with actual animal heads for some reason are showing up now.
Ooh, they change, they grow.
Just different genders.
Well, you know that technically they are a character. Together they are kind of like a character, right? And I think it's important to treat them as such, because I think by the end we might be like, VIP goes to the minions. They were our favorite. Poor minions. We just gotta feel sorry for them. Anyway, a small horde of these things come up and they grab. We'll call him. Well, we'll just call him Samar at the moment.
Samar. Dracolich.
The Dracolich. Okay.
That's what I'm calling it now in my notes. Now that it's an undead that's a Dracolich.
The Overlich.
I think that's just what he was before.
The Overlich.
When he subsumed the Marauder, that was an Overlich. Now he's a Dracolich.
So he's like, what? No. You minions belong to me. He looks back at you. He's like, oh, Cecil, you dare usurp me? I am back now. They are mine.
You have magic now. You've broken the code.
He goes,
still voice deep for some reason.
It's not just me. And he looks at the spirits. And he's like, that wizard. So he's being held temporarily. There's a monologue going back and forth. Well, not monologue. a dialogue going back between.
Bickering.
So Ralph and Alvaro are there. Benny would be doing something important. I feel like he would probably go up to hit the dragon with big stick.
Please hit it with big stick.
Now we're not making any.
Large weapon.
I don't want to spend auto rolls, but you could have him just dish out some damage if you wanted to. I think.
Okay, I'm fine with saying that he could use in this case he could definitely use an auto roll,
You know what?
an auto success.
Just because I was wrong about something early, well, not even the case. I'm just going to give it to you guys. We won't use an auto roll. We'll just let him get at least a shot in. I think that's fair. Benny's going to get to have a shot in. We're not going to do a lot of extra with it, but all right. I rolled once for Benny just to throw some damage out there because I think that's what he would do. I'm not going to murder him otherwise, but he manages. The minions are going. He like pushes through a bunch, comes in with this crazy sword, and does whatever he would do in this case as a newfound Death Knight, and sinks his blade deep into the Overlich Lord, Dracolich Lord's hide. 8 points of damage minus armor. Not bad.
Not at all.
And this thing screeches and now is pissed. Pardon my French. Alvaro, Ralph, Cecil. That's that's Benny's contribution.
Yep.
You did good.
So Ralph at this point is just he's starting to run out of good ideas. Oh, wait, that might be an idea. More information is needed.
Alvaro, you got soul still?
I have one soul left, yes.
Just,
I am going...
Just checking.
Yes.
No, go ahead,
Don't
please.
like that. I don't like that at all.
I'm just clarifying.
Uh-huh.
Would you don't have to do anything, would you like to?
Oh, yes. I am going to do one more castigate, use that last soul,
Okay.
and I'm going to take one of the two remaining auto succeeds.
Good deal.
All right, auto
Throw
6.
that up there for the
Yes,
information.
please and thank you.
There it goes.
So it's technically a 10 plus.
So 10 plus, I get to choose 3.
All
I'm
right.
going to obviously deal my damage, ignoring armor, 3 damage.
Nice.
Place a burden on them, limiting their supernatural abilities.
Oh.
And let me look at the Discern Realities list.
Suppressing their supernatural. That's okay.
Where is the Discern? There you are. Why can't they list these alphabetically?
I don't know.
It's listed after spout lore, and
Yes.
that.
Just to make it more confusing.
And it says ask 2 questions.
What happened here recently?
So you know what?
Oh, good.
I'm gonna take the 2 questions, but tweak them a little.
You may. You deal damage with no armor. You place a burden on him, limiting his supernatural abilities. Okay. And then 2 questions tweaked to your desire.
Yeah, could I figure out a weakness of this new thing that it has become?
Okay. Well, castigation and things that hurt
A
undead
weak spot.
will also hurt it.
So, yes.
Radiant damage, holy damage like that would seem to hurt it. Okay. It's obscure, I guess, because you don't know much about it in the moment as you're trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
The Overlord was a spirit. He fused to the bones, and the bones fused to the dragon. If you could somehow separate the bones from the dragon, that would probably do something bad to it. Holy damage, your type of magic that castigates undead, and separating its armor. from its body.
And I technically get another question.
Please. Please do.
I'm not sure. That was the most pressing one that I could think of.
Okay, so what is about to happen? What should I be on the lookout for? What here is useful or valuable to me? Who's really in control here? What here is not what it appears to be? What happened here recently? Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes hard to fit them to the current
Yeah.
things, but I will. If you ask it, I will make something for you. And you can think about it for a second if you need to. I marked your damage.
Yep.
Let's hear from someone else as you think about that question. Then throw it in there whenever you're ready.
Cecil's just gonna. He's out of quirky things, so he's just going to shift his gear back to armor state and just run up with his mace and hit him, or try.
You guys
This
are.
is where I start rolling terribly, but I'm gonna go for it.
All right. That sounds like a hack and slash.
Yeah, he's running forward, and you and my predecessors all swore an oath to do this in the attacks.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Damn, dude.
Heck yeah!
Damage the enemy and avoid their attack. Your action
Stop
must choose.
I will not avoid their attack and add the extra d6 damage.
Wow. All right. So you were gonna
Who's
take.
gonna kill this guy?
So you
Pop it.
So R 1d8, comma 1d6. I do believe that's how that works. Nope.
It's plus.
Yes.
Six plus.
Okay. I was like, no. You can't just
Yeah.
have two.
Yeah, and that's just flat out broken. So just
That's
There
more
we
like
go.
it.
pop it.
Nice.
Jeebus, man. That's a
Heck of a
prodigious
roll.
amount of damage.
I was scared of him until he went all magical zombie fairy princess on me. Now I'm mad.
Let me make sure. Okay. So you did. That's 12 damage. All right.
But it does get to do something to me.
Yes. He's going to. He has reach, so he just reaches back down. He's very forceful about it. Ignores your armor, and he just looks right and he's like, I have to go reclaim my castle. And he opens his jaws up and he just spews out corrupted black acid, just washes straight across and through you. And let me roll. Now don't be deceived here. I'm rolling the better of 2 dice. All right. So it's going to be 2d plus 7.
2d75 plus.
So you only take, so it's 18 points of damage and ignores armor.
Okay. So I do. Let's see.
So I take the better of those two. Obviously, he rolled a 1 and an 11. So,
Of course.
I do last breath.
oh, so,
Jesus.
oh,
I'm at
no.
a negative 10. I'm pretty sure I'm dead.
Wow.
So last
See,
breath.
Hold on.
On a 10 plus, you cheated death. Okay.
It's different. It should be
Please
different.
please take the auto success.
Oh, there's still
Have one
left.
left, yes.
Yes, please
Okay.
take that auto success.
Oh, my
Okay,
goodness.
okay. I'll burn the last out of success to last
Oh,
death.
you guys cheat
You're
the
in a bad
last.
spot, but you're still alive.
Roll a d4. I don't remember the rules, so we're just going to do it. So you have 2 hit points. Tell me how this works when you do this, like how you do the damage to him, and when he does to you, you survive and pop back up. Like, yeah.
I think really what it started off as I was just literally leaping up and smashing him wherever I could hit. And obviously not the head, hence why he was able to breathfoot me pretty much the same time. And to avoid the majority of the damage, as it's opening its mouth to do the breath attack, he's just shoving his arm and shield arm in that mouth. And most of it's, the initial blast is absorbed by the shield until it breaks through the shield. And then and it just sends him pinging off the back wall of the castle.
Excellent.
So he's all
Yeah.
And then forcefully blast you and you hit the wall and you slump down. You get knocked down, but you get up again. So, dang. And so he has turned back again. Wow, this dragon hates you guys.
Yeah. So just as a FYI, in case you didn't see
Oh,
the notification,
I did.
Did you add more?
2 more
Oh,
auto
wow.
successes.
That's all my bonus money, guys. I'm tapped.
Thank you,
I
Jodo.
was hoping to save some of that. For aliens, but this seems more pressing.
You know, remind me so I can get in on aliens, and I'll help us out. That's too meta. I don't care. Wow. And so he sprays. He's like, I will reclaim them all. I fly. And he starts to beat his wings to take off.
So
I thought of my second question.
Okay. Cecil, you did hurt him too. I'm going to go to Alavar here, but you were cracking like lots of that skeletal armor off. Like you were smash. Like you did a lot of damage on him. Alavara, go ahead. And then Ralph.
I'm gonna go for the generic what is useful here or valuable, I suppose.
The spirits probably would be real useful. And he's different than he was a moment ago, so maybe they can be of different use. You know, everything is changing. The gates of death don't work. Things are coming and going like it's a 2-way door instead of just a 1-way. You just saw Cecil get melted, but instead of dying and going, his body pops back up and is not actually as bad as it should be. Like Cecil should be gone right now. And nope, he's still there. Everyone's defying death. So, and undeath apparently.
Okay.
But the spirits would be useful. That orb would be useful if you still had it. Also, there is still a battle going on outside the tower. Sounds like a world in chaos outside. Remember, it was middle of the day and you guys went in the tower. 10 hours later, the top gets blasted open. It's nighttime. And it sounds like the city's in chaos. That's my answer for you, Ralph.
okay, so here's a question because this thing is trying to take off, but I want to do I want to try to do the rule cool here. I would like to attempt an enchantment and make it a follow-up attack with it immediately, no matter if it fails or succeeds.
Okay.
If that is permitted.
That's fine. It's really just a conversation. So if it's like a quick make and throw, if that fits the narrative.
Yeah.
I mean, it just depends on how well your enchantment.
Yeah, this is also going to get really dumb, guys, because Ralph had an idea.
Uh-oh.
He's going to jerry-rig the Zorm pendant to his staff to try to overcharge the Rune of Doom, and then yeet this entire staff like a spear in the hopes of mega booping this dragon.
You realize the pendant is no go.
It's also just a giant battery.
It's also corrupted to hell and back, probably literally.
So,
All those things.
but
pretty
I mean,
true.
I'm out of ideas, guys.
Do you want to run back up and smack it again? I mean, I worked pretty good at the first try.
So, but yeah, so my
Go for it.
move here, which is probably going to be the last thing that Ralph gets to do this section, is he's going to craft enchantments to try to supercharge his staff using the Zorm pendant.
Please do that. So you have to do the. Let's see the enchantment roll first, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And you have what, 2 auto successes in the bank, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I will spend one auto. I will probably spend both of these auto successes once to get the jerry rig put together. And yes, I realize I wasted that auto success so badly.
Dang.
Which one?
Uh,
The
all
first
right,
one.
yeah. Well,
So
I can choose two, and you have no problem going on right now. I'll type them in.
Yep. Does not have. So this does not have any weird limitations, and it does not have any weird. Does not have any known side effects. So.
So you craft
that-
it into a charged up Z spear.
Yep. So. So probably Tim's probably yelling at me because I'm using all the red wire and all of my stock just doing all the things that I should not be doing with the charged magical artifact.
All wired in the same color.
Tim, the spirits are like trying to push themselves between you and the dragon. So he's kind of looking, and they're all yelling and chanting and doing something weird. But it's the Tim McLeod, commercial Tim McLeod on the back of your cloak. Advertisement, Tim. And just like, yes, all the red wire, all the red wire. Yes, you're a brilliant son. And the blue wire. The blue, don't forget the blue as well. He goes, we must work together. I'm back, son. I'm making all kinds of splashes. Let's work together.
And then he's like, this even calls for dun dun dun, the yellow wire.
Oh, you make a father so proud. And
then with this thing's probably shooting off sparks with this weird Borpole Rune of Doom energy. It probably looks jank.
So you're gonna throw your staff.
Yeah.
That's cracked.
So this is probably going to total the staff, and I'm probably going to have to make a new one if I survive this. But it's either I deal with this now or we're going to have a bad day.
So it'll be your damage plus the doom of 1d6, right? Is that what you're basically getting out of it? So you can throw your staff.
So although the reason why I enchanted it was hopefully to make it bigger.
Oh,
if that makes sense.
The staff, like thicker, wider?
No, to
make
supercharge
the explosion bigger.
Oh, okay. Well,
that was the whole point of strapping a giant Z pendant mana battery.
True.
To this.
Okay, that's why I was getting a baseline. So I was thinking about that kind of. So.
Yeah. So it would because my base in this case, because the dragon counts as undead, is 1d4 plus 1d6 plus whatever the Zorm pendant thing is going to end up doing for me.
I'll give you. I'll throw on a d10, but you got to hit it with a volley.
All right. Of course, it's always dexterity. I'm going to spend the last auto success.
Oh, you suck.
for a big boom. Hey, I'm making it go with a bang.
You know what?
Doing good.
Do it. Roll.
You get a thumbs up from across the room. Yeah, yeah.
1d4 plus 1d6 plus 1d10. Yep.
Jesus, God in heaven.
15.
15 damage of fuck you damage.
I like the fact you rolled a 6, and just a 3. Like
the 3 was on the D4, so
yeah, this is funny.
All right, I'm gonna give you a choice. Even though it's a success, it's a good choice. You throw this like it looks at Cecil and it's like turns to leave, and whatever you do, you chuck this thing, and he turns and it just right square in the chest through the skeletal plating. And it's just the Z sticking out right as it goes, sinks in, and it's like, and it explodes. What do you ultimately defeat here? The undead dragon or the Overlord spirit?
they were 2 separate beings.
Well, they are.
Now. Now they are.
So, Cecil, high or low?
High. I've been rolling high all night.
I'm just making it interesting.
So it's going to pop the dragon.
No.
I roll between the two. At least if if Overlord is stuck as a spiritual Mr. Bojangles, we can eventually deal with it. But do you really want to deal with corrosive acid dragon again?
But it was still undead. I can deal with undead. The spirit's a bitch.
Oh well.
No, hold on. I think you like. Because it was all successes, so I'm not really penalizing you in any way. I'm only furthering a narrative, right?
Yep.
This dragon goes out and just goes backwards and is exploding. And the Overlord's spirit, which was huge, comes floating in like this. And immediately the other three spirits surround and grab him and sink into him. And they're like, Olivara! All in unison together. They're like, use the skull!
I don't have any soul left. What is it?
Shunt him into the skull. Just
Yeah, the skull.
beat him with the skull.
Alright.
The skull is a soul holder. I don't think you would spend
Yeah.
soul to retain soul.
So-
That would make sense.
Oh.
You just gotta defy danger
So-
using your.
You
Yeah.
beat him to death with his own skull.
Wisdom
I
defied
don't think
danger
it's
you've been
his-
desiring for so long. It's now here, and you're like, no, I don't know.
I feel like the wisdom defy danger is the thing to do here, but that's up to
Yeah.
you. It's up
No,
to
definitely. It's definitely happening. So she takes the soul and she just kind of shoves it directly into the center of his being. I've got a 7.
you. Excellent. That's a success.
It is. Barely.
And so let me put you here. Oh yeah, I should have gotten rid of those other boxes, those portals. There is still a portal that's up in this room. That's still active. The other two have gone away. The Uzi spot over here has gone away as we are gonna. Oh man, yeah, we're here all night. But you guys have just won against an undead. I don't know. I just mixed a bunch of crap together and made a super powerful undead dragon, which you pegged away at without taking too much damage, except for Cecil. But you step forward with the skull, and you push it forward. And here's your tough choice. Actually, the way that it grabs the skull, what's it hold? 3 more? I mean, it had 3 in it, right?
It was holding 3 when I found it.
All right,
Who knows if it can hold more? Well,
it-
you know.
As of now, and maybe
You make it up as you go.
maybe it's an ability you can take later or something, but right now it only holds 3. It pulls in 3 of the 4 souls. Which 3 does it pull in?
Well, the Overlord. Oh God. You had to find a way to make me make this choice, didn't you? Okay. Well, it's not. I mean, the way I've gone about this is that her utilizing the soul is what purifies them and helps them move on, right?
Yes.
So it's actually kind of sucks more for the one I don't pick.
Sure.
It's still. Okay, the Overlord is for sure. I don't like this decision.
Slorp, Tim.
Yeah, Tim.
No, son, I loved you. Sorry.
Ooh, I don't know how Benny's gonna react.
Margins.
I don't.
I mean, you could leave Benny's wife to him because he's technically an agent of death too. He can figure out how to solve his own.
He doesn't
His
work like
own
the Reaper
undead-
does.
But he could. But now he. But we could leave that as a trauma for him to figure out. He'll come back. He'll come back in 2 weeks and be like, "What did I miss?" It's like, "Hey, your wife is going to haunt you now."
So, okay, Overlord, Tim, and Lucy.
Oh.
Oops. Wrong one.
Boop.
Excellent. And we see the power. We see the camera pan around Olivar. We see the 4 spirits, but the camera's too close to her, so we can't see as it pans in. We see whoosh of magic, and it backs out, and it's just her staring at Fane. And they look at each other, like up close, like back and forth. Everyone else is catching their breath. And
Ralph is probably just flat on the ground, is like, is it over?
and it,
Like, he's just, like, he probably fell on his face after yeeting the staff after all that.
and what you guys have here, I was gonna like just do a cutout right there, but you have a free ability to book it to the Golden Fang. As you get out into the city, you'll discover that the city's been devastated and there is battle going on everywhere from all kinds of weird stuff. But there are a few safe points in, you know, the rest is becoming rubble or being overtaken, but there are a few buildings that can stand it. Towers, buildings. The Golden Fang Inn and Tavern is one of those, as all the buildings around it have been wrecked, but this one seems to be standing strong just as its own. And you guys have, if you want, you tell me, but you have the ability to get to the Golden Fang and stay there, rest, level up.
Yes,
Yeah.
Please.
I want. It's free to stay there. No food is lost.
So,
I
Cecil,
also need to fix your garbage disposal.
I don't
I've got a
think
power source for it now. I don't need you.
we need to, we're going to come to a close here, and we're going to do our end of session stuff. I know you guys can level up. We don't have to do it necessarily now or not, but what I want to ask Cecil is one last question.
Yes.
Do your minions bring the orb here, or have they taken it
Yes.
somewhere else? Oh, okay.
They're taking it to the tavern.
And you guys get,
that worries
do
me.
you take Zorm with you?
Oh yeah, I think we do.
I'm assuming the others.
Ralph
probably
is probably dragging Zorm behind him. He's like, this wizard is going to pay us, or so help me, I will do to him what I just did to that dragon. I don't often act like my own debt collector, but in this case...
Perfect.
Oh, goodness.
And Thane follows you along and actually helps out in some narrative ways we'll talk about later. And you get to the Golden Inn where you will be able to rest and recover for a couple days. Now, if you rest 3 days continuously, you are allowed to get rid of one of your conditions. I know that both
Oh,
Alavara,
thank God.
and Benny both had conditions. He actually has a Constitution and a Wisdom, so I'm going to let him decide. So we need to remember to ask him which one he wants to get rid of. We'll talk about it next time. I might be a nice DM to start you from scratch because I think everybody's going to be leveling up. Maybe they have 2 levels in the bank. It's going to cost.
Minimum.
So you're going to get there.
Minimum of 1.
If it's okay with Cecil, I think everybody hides out there for a few days to figure out
Yeah.
what to do
I mean,
next. Zorm recovers.
Technically, the last time he was outside the tower, he was basically on. Will, when you get out, you're under arrest. So it's like, I'm not going back out there right now.
It is absolute chaos. You see the other dragons fighting. The mage patrol's wiped out. You hear weird rumors about stuff. Well, you actually don't get to hear weird rumors because you're just booking it for your life. And you get into the Golden Fang and shut the door, and all the crazy noise outside, as soon as the door shuts, goes absolute silence. Everybody takes a deep breath and looks at each other.
Wine.
Yep. And the commander's ordered wine, like in every game. And that's where we're going to close tonight's chapter of Dungeon World Indigo Magic. Whew.
You say Alavara doesn't normally drink. She is tonight.
Like,
That was a lot of fun.
I'm going to do the dwarven ancestors proud. Keg stands. Nothing but keg stands.
That was something.
Well, guys, 9 XP to go to level 3. Who made it? I know.
Oh, I'm already there.
Already
Ben.
I've
there.
been level 3.
But-
I just needed the level up chance.
Do we not also get
Find out if I get a second
Yes.
one from our
end of session?
session XP.
Yep, we're going to do end of session right now. And then we're going to be done and do some quick shot because I wanted to get done a little closer to 10 tonight. So let's do these. End of session. Choose one of your bonds. If you feel is resolved, explored, no longer relevant, otherwise.
Read them. I don't believe Benny Dot is a loose cannon anymore. I should have done this one last time because once he changed to this new class, he's acting very tactical. So I don't think he's a loose cannon anymore.
Oh, you think he's more precise and
I'm gonna change it to a tragic soul in need of a
friend?
crew.
Oh, okay.
He's got a
Friend.
friend.
That's not it accrue. I don't.
Okay.
I don't pretend to be
Another
friends.
friend. Yeah, I know. That's why I was going with that. Okay, so mark XP. You erased that bound and rewrote it.
Yep. And I think Alavar is still very good. Very useful, deserves a reserve room. I think the only thing I'd change it to is Alavar. Well, no, I wouldn't change that one. I like that one. And let's see, Ralph. Useful to build devices to further my goals. I think I'm just going to update that one with a comma or to blow up obstacles.
Perfect.
Yep.
Go ahead, Ralph.
I think what mine is resolved or very, very much changed.
Okay.
So, which was the Alavaro is not as wondrous as I thought, but I still have a debt. I think we're even now because they're gonna help make a dragon explode for you.
What do you think, Alavara? Do you agree?
Yeah.
Okay. Mark
Yeah.
XP and change it up when you have time.
I don't think any of mine are resolving. We'll have to see how Benny reacts to his wife now being.
Ooh.
Because his that we're friends might that might change depending on how he reacts.
Yep. That doesn't mean they're necessarily gone forever, but if you use them, they might be. So we'll have to see what happens. That's fine. And then Benny's not doing any this time, so we'll move on to the next part. If you think of something else, Alavar, let us know. Have you fulfilled your alignment at least once this session? If you say yes, tell us why.
It says dominate, impose your will on the unwilling. But I feel like I'm more dominated as in I was taking down my predecessor. Like I was telling him I started off afraid of him, and then at some point I was like, "You've broken the rules. It's my world now," type thing. It just went after him.
Okay, I'll take it. I'll accept it.
Yeah.
I like it. And also, maybe your minions weren't really willing to go horde on him, and then you're like, do it, and you're like, okay. We don't want to take that rainbow orb either, but okay. So I think it counts. Go ahead, Ralph. If you were.
I'm conflicted. You know what? No, I don't think I technically meet the criteria because my alignment is discover something about a magical mystery. I think this is the first time I actually didn't discover something magical.
It kind of
Because
yeeted the
this
one thing
entire
you could
time
have.
this entire time I have been looking at things. I've been jerry rigging stuff to do stupid shit.
That makes sense.
Makes sense.
I think that's fair. Alavar?
I'm not sure on mine. Mine's actually a rather difficult one to fulfill. It's to carry out a spirit's last request. Well, the only spirits I spoke to were in the fight with us.
They asked you to use the skull on them.
Oh, they did.
Yep, it doesn't have to, maybe we might have to fudge it a little bit, so, because I can't always I want to give you a chance to at least play your character like it should. So I think like that, using the skull as they said that you should, I think that carries out at least a request, if not their last. But a couple of them, it might have been their last request because you sucked them up into the skull. So go ahead and mark XP for that.
Okay.
What the heck? All right, let's do these 3 questions. If we answer yes, everybody marks XP. And this will be, I will mark those for Benny because he was still there. How much XP did you guys get total so far up to this point, including your failed rolls? Does anybody know?
I'm sitting at 4 right now.
4 for today?
I got 2 for this session.
4 for today.
Okay. Well, I'm including with what your bonds and everything, like how much total did you earn for the session?
I need to go back. I think I've gotten 3 because I got 2 missed rolls and then the one from my alignment.
Okay, that's probably good.
Bond. We got the alignments.
And 2 botch rolls from Cecil, right? That make him 4. You can tell me, Matt. That's fine. I shouldn't delay.
Yeah, you're right. 4.
Okay.
So I actually have an extra one I didn't know about.
All right. So Benny will get the 3 titled Elvira there. And then let's answer these questions. Did we learn something new and important about the world?
Yeah.
Yeah. chaos.
I
Quite a few things.
Just name a couple. We'll see.
everything is
Yep.
Billy's broken.
Dragons are a thing in this town.
everything is in chaos.
That works.
There's the
Something
whole
else is something else is going on. We're
And
just not sure
time-
what
and-
yet.
Time did not pass correctly while we were in this tower.
Okay.
so we come outside and it's completely different.
I
Yay.
didn't get to clarify that with the undead when they mentioned that. Oh God, what did they mention? I don't even remember what they said. Something about it not being. I don't remember. Son of a. It was what Tim said. Tim said something. Yes, Tim said something, and I was like, "Wait, do you mean the corruption?" And I don't know. Something else is going on that we don't know yet.
Correct.
Bothering me.
Did we overcome a notable monster or enemy?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
You know, that was all the things. So, they all combined into one. So, Mark XP. Did we loot a memorable treasure? Yes.
I did.
Yes.
Oh yes, we got yeah.
I looted quite a memorable treasure.
You got.
Big orb of Rainbow Road.
Yep. So everybody mark XP for those last two questions as well.
Zorb's magical jawbreaker.
He did say he went indigo magic through the eyes of a slumbering god. That's what he did say about it. Or also a not quite
there
dead
was
god.
something about a god.
A not quite
God.
dead god.
Now we're getting the gods involved in this because we needed that.
Well, it's not clear if it's fate or gods or nature. We haven't really established it.
Yes.
And maybe it's not, maybe it's not clear to everybody else, but that's just what he said in a meta recap that you may not even heard. So that takes us to the end, and we will talk about level up stuff at the beginning of the next session because we are out of time. So we're going to do some, but I think everybody has a couple levels to go up. Actually, we might be able to level a couple times. It's going to cost 9 XP for level 3 and 10 XP for level 4. So if you have at least 19 XP, I think that you can level up. Benny is he's good. Cecil, I'm sure, is good. Actually,
Yep.
So you guys are all.
I just came up short for 2 more, but I'll be level 3 next turn.
Okay.
I'm 1 over 20.
Also short.
I'm at 20.
I'm also short by 2. I'm at 17.
Okay, so Cecil will go up 2, and everybody else will be up another 1 by the end of the next session. No problem. Wow, you guys will be level. I'll have to amp it up. All right, well, that's the end. Thanks for sticking around if you did. We're going to get out of here after a little outro, and we shall all be coming back in 2 weeks. And at the end of that same 2 weeks, which would be Robotech normally, I will actually be out with a surgery, so we won't have Robotech that night. But we have a new show premiering Friday nights after Robotech and or nothing going on, and Olivera can tell us about that real quick. Actually, I will start with her for outros, and we'll go to Cecil and Ralph and bring it back home. So go ahead, Olivera.
Yep. So I am Ava. I play Olivera here. You can also catch me on every Friday night at time conversions 10:30 EST.
Yes, Eastern. Yep.
For another Dungeon World game run by Dem. I play not going in that because I can't remember the character I play exactly. A Dragon Knight.
Ooh, yeah.
Yes, I get to ride a dragon. So 10:30 EST to whenever we decide to call it, Friday nights, every Friday night at the moment. Or you can catch me. What night is our D&D?
It's Thursdays.
Next week,
Thursdays. Every other Thursday. Not this week, but next week. You can catch me. I'm forgetting every single character I play. Calcaria, the Tiefling Monk, is who I play there. And you can catch me on Twitter at @thatnerdywriter. You'll see my face, Ava Rogers. And that's all I have for tonight. Take it away, whomever's next.
The internet did not drop. I just realized that.
Yeah.
Woo!
Woo woo. It's been a month.
Yeah.
But sorry, go ahead, Cecil.
Wow. Yep. Tonight I played Cecil Angelson, the Overlord playbook. It was a fan-made creation, and not a very combat-oriented thing, but it's a very hijinks one, and I'm starting to catch on to how it works. On Tuesdays, opposite of this Tuesday, I run Alien RPG by Free League Publishing. You can pick up a copy on their website, or just reviews are everywhere right now. It was a pretty hot item right before the end of the year. And on Fridays, if it happens, I get to play Captain Colors, the captain of the SDF-1, if I put my hat on straight. And other than that, I don't have much going on right now. We've got lots of wicks in the fire, so to speak. Lots of coals getting ready to be embers on other shows in the future. So keep coming around and checking out and see what's going on. Off to Joe.
That's excellent. Well, howdy, folks. Ralph McLeod here, aka Jodo1025. So the aka Lucas's resident hobo, because I'm in just about everything. But yeah, when I'm not here playing the crazy enchanter who does stupid things with stupid items, I tend to be here for, again, Robotex on Friday as Ivan Suranova. I will not be here this Friday, however, because I have other things to contend with. But I'm pretty sure the SDF-1 will push on without me. And then on the other Tuesday, aka next week, is Aliens RPG, where I play Joe Potensky, the smart gunner who's probably going to die a very bad death. And then
it won't be on purpose.
Yeah, and then the D&D game on alternating Thursdays, where I play the Halfling Rogue. I have completely forgotten his name because I am.
Oh, I almost had it too. He's a little redheaded halfling.
Yeah,
according to this picture. We'll get it.
He's just a little gnome. Like, not a gnome, but he's a halfling. But it's, yeah. If you want to know what his name is, you show up next Thursday. But when I'm not here, which is becoming less of a problem, you can catch me over on my channel, twitch.tv/Jodo1025, where I have my own D&D content and fundraising content, mostly for Extra Life charity as part of the Children's Miracle Network. Tomorrow I have a stream that is our long-running Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition campaign, Titans of Moran. So where my poor players are trying to figure out what is going on in the world and trying not to burn everything down. I mean, so far they've burnt 2 places down completely. So it's like every other D&D party ever. But also this Saturday, at 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, will be part 3, the final part of Maureen's Mad Menagerie, our big Extra Life charity fundraiser for Extra Life. But where I play as Jibjob Uru Kraka, the bugbear, the bugbear battle master, as we are trying to hunt down Maureen the Mad, who is in the search for a perfect pet. And it sounds like her idea of a perfect pet is a mimic hydra. I hate it. That's a game where your donations can definitely affect the game and all that stuff. So definitely, if you want to watch the madness, tune in then. So once again, that's twitch.tv/Jodo1025. But other than that, I will pass it back to our host with a big thank you for Lucas for running Dungeon World and everything else here.
Indeed.
And big thank you to my cast members for letting me kind of have my megalomania tonight.
Oh, we all did. This was a good one. Everybody that was here got a big moment. So it was really good.
I liked it. I had a lot of fun. I thought it was Richter. Yeah, I thought it was. Sorry, I got distracted by the Chinese.
Thank you, Ava.
I pulled up my notes that I took. It just took a minute for them to load.
He's so new. Like, I designed him specifically for that campaign. So because
I
I
can't
never
wait to
get
get
to
back to
play.
I can't wait to get back to it next week Thursday. We'll play it. Sunless Citadel. Join in all these games. Look for the new one on Friday. Stay tuned in the Discord for the schedule of Lucasgvariety. Thanks for my players for being here. Spending a little extra time tonight. It was a great time. Big announcements coming down the pipe for me in a couple weeks when I'm clear to reveal them, and we'll talk more about what's been going on. Also, I think I'm looking at maybe doing a big Zoom chat with all my directors and actors to have a big conference call on something as well, kind of related. So we're going to look at some things like that and look at the future of what we can do as a community. But let's get out of here now, guys. So we will see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for playing. It was a great session. Had a great time. We'll see you next time. Good night. God bless and good gaming. Later, guys. Have a good one. Also, let's just pause for effect. Curtain coming down. Boom. End stream. See you later.